Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from S123 Trader. Good morning to you from Victoria, beautiful British Columbia, Canada. The market is about to open in a couple of minutes, and we're just starting up so that we can hear the opening bell as the combatants begin another week. Red versus green. We're glad you can join us this morning, and looking forward to a up and down session here today. We'll see how it goes. Good morning to Mr. George Pitcher, who's with me from New Jersey and New York State. Good morning, George. And our admin is with us as well, Mr. Vic Young. He's in Vancouver, British Columbia. And for all those who are new and joining us for the first time, again, welcome. You can see my screen okay. I am showing, there we go, the bell has rung, the battle has started. Right now I'm showing the S&P E-mini futures on the 3-minute time frame. Actually, let me see if I can go to the 1-minute time frame on this. Yes, okay. The E-mini S&P futures is a precursor, or it gives us a window into the major indices. So I always have a look at this instrument because it tells us essentially what the market's going to do overall. So right now it's pointing to an upward trajectory for the markets this morning. So even though the Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq are down, currently the S&P futures are up a little bit here. So it's quite interesting to see at this point here. I'm on the 1 minute, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go jump over to these charts here. These are the 4 indices that we take a look at. This is the Dow Jones Industrial ETF, the diamonds, they're called the diamonds, the QQQ Trust, which is the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500, the SPYs, and the IWM, the Russell 2000, and primarily play the IWM, but if opportunities show themselves in other areas, we would definitely jump into those as well. I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute chart time frame on all of these charts. Okay, so like that. So okay, so everything's heading down on the diamonds, the Qs, and the SPYs. Only the Russell is kind of hanging there a little bit. All right, so I'm going to drop down one more time frame to the 1-minute time frame on each of these and see what we see. Okay, wow, look at that. Eh? Okay, slowly getting the picture of it. All right, so what I'm looking for at the opening here is an opportunity to jump in to either go long or short. And at this moment in time, there is no clear direction. As you can see, we're kind of sitting in a very tight area. So everything is we're kind of in a channel here, and so we're up at the topmost portion of the channel, not giving me any clean headway here. Are starting to move briskly to the downside. So definitely a sell opportunity on the SPY right there. We have a 1, 2, 3 sell opportunity on the Q, or on the these are the diamonds. Sell opportunity on the SPY and sell opportunity on the Qs. set up in quick order. So the Russell 2000 IWM, nothing concrete as yet, but it looks like we could get something that once it breaks this level here. So let's just see. These ones are kind of giving us a heads up as to what to expect. Okay, I'm just opening up another program here.
They seem to be pushing back up again.
Yeah, all of them are, except for the diamonds.
Okay, so this did not form a 1, 2, 3 at this point. It broke that level, so that one is off. And these guys are still, so we formed the 1, 2, 3 there, still lingering in this 1, 2, 3. So this one's still lingering, looking very weak here on the diamonds. This one's still there and hasn't broken that level. And okay, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at here overall, I'm going to go up to the daily time frame. So as you can see, we're completely in. Let me make this bigger so we can all see it better. Sometimes, there we go. That's a little better looking chart. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 top down to this level here. Another large 1, 2, 3 top at this point drops us down to this level. We come up. We're inside this. This is where we are on the daily. We're inside this channel, going kind of sideways to up. It's looking like it wants to either do another up, or we could tank right through. So which one is it going to be? Is the key question at this time. So dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we'll take a closer look at this area when we go to the 4-hour. Okay, so this is what we're seeing now. So that was the 1, 2, 3 top down to this channel that we're in. So we've gone like this. So the expected move would be another push to the upside. That would be the expected move. Whether or not it's going to play out is the other question. We could just go halfway, retrace, and then drop, or we could go all the way up and then do one more and then drop. So there's a couple of scenarios that could play out here. So we're still high up on the on the 4-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, we just go back real quick. On the 1-hour time frame, we're just looking now at just at this area. Okay, so we're just going to be looking at this area on the 1-hour. So dropping down to the 1-hour, you can see that's what I just drew up on the higher time frame. So move to the upside, move to the downside, move to the upside, move to the downside. Should get a move to the upside. That would be the trajectory. And at that point, once that's complete, I would see a move to something like that. That would be my expectation. Now, whether or not that will play out is the question. So right now it's looking like it wants to push to the upside, albeit rather slowly. So 15-minute time frame. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, sorry, I'm going to go back to the 1-hour time frame. So now if I drop down any lower, we're just looking, at this area primarily. So dropping down to the 15, that's what I'm looking at there. So on the 15, we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we're pushing to the upside. Breaking this level would push us back up into into that zone. Okay, so if I go back to the futures, again, it tells us overall what's going on. So we like I said, when we started, we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. At this point, it's pointing us in the direction of where price, even though the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq were down, it was still pointing us to a little bit more of a solid move to the upside. However, right now you can see it's pushing back down. So there's some selling pressure still, although it's still pointing to an up move overall. If we have a 1, 2, 3, it's forming yet another 1, 2, 3. So we would expect a move to the upside, unless we totally break down and break this level here. So going back to our multiple charts, we're pushing again to the upside. That's on the 15. So coming down to the 5-minute. We're again, nice 1, 2, 3 bottom right there. Yet another, and we're pushing to the upside. So opportunity to play that already. And I've chatted my way out of getting into the trade. So that's the play. That would have been the play right there to get in at that point. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for an opportunity to jump in the market when it tells us that it's ready, and this was right there. So anywhere in this area gives us the opportunity to take a play. So I'd be looking now for a little bit of a pullback back into the area, and at that point I would look at buying like the 204 calls. We're sitting at around 202.5. So either the 203s or the 204 calls for expiration today would be a possible play here. So let's take a look at those and see what.
203 calls are $1.42.
Expiration today?
Yeah.
They're that expensive? Wow. I'm amazed. 204 calls.
They just popped now. They're $1.
Okay, so we're pushing out very strongly now. Interesting. So 1, 2, 3 setup, and another 1, 2, 3 setup, and it doesn't look like it wants to come back. So still, this should retrace one more time back here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the 15-minute time frame. Just take a look at this again. Okay, I'm going to go up to the 1-hour time frame. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to draw some trend lines, just so that I get an idea of that trend line. Let's put in the array trend line right under there. Okay, trend line at the top. Kind of gives me a gauge as to where I'm trying to go to when I get down to the lower time frame. So this is kind of the idea of it. Okay. So at this point here, we had a 1, 2, 3. It took us down to that level. So once we get a 1, 2, 3 here, then the trajectory is back to the upside. So this is why we're getting that move, but we're not getting a retrace. So there's a lot of strength in there, interestingly, even though, again, like I say, we started off rather weak. Now this could be also a very weak move to the upside, even though it started off quite strong. It could also be weak. The market is overall rather weak, so we could see this move be just you know, kind of petering out at this point and coming back down and breaking this level. That's totally possible as well. So we have to be on guard for that.
Yeah, I'm getting suggestions of turning down.
That is a possibility. So I'm going to drop down to the 1 minute chart on this and take a closer look. Okay, so all right, so here is again our first 1, 2, 3 was this move. We get a second 1, 2, 3, which is this move, and now we're getting a third 1, 2, 3, which should take us back down. This is what I was saying. I'd like to see it come back down into this area. So this is our area of entry. This is where, if we wanted to get into this play, this would be your risk. Your total risk area is right here. So if price dropped back into this area here, a stop below this level would be in play, and entry somewhere, you know, in here, looking to go to the upside. If we're wrong and price continues down and breaks that level, then that's your risk from your wherever you enter. And that's a very small risk when you look at it. So you can see price is coming back down, because the reason why price is coming back, oops, didn't mean to do that. The reason why price is coming back down is because that's what the 1, 2, 3 does. This is our 1, 2, 3. Price always comes back. Okay. All right, so let me now look at those 203, 204. Let's go for the 20.
Which one do you want, 204?
I think so.
204s are going for about 75 cents right now.
Yeah. So I think I'll buy the 204s for $75 per contract. Let's see if I can get a couple of them. Of course, as soon as I put my order in, oh, there I am. I'm filled. I'm filled. Okay, so just want to test the waters out. Bought the 2 for expiration today. Okay, so the reason why I buy for expiration today is because we're just looking to get in and out of these positions very quickly. So for $75, we can get into this trade. If I'm correct and it breaks, if we can break this level, we should be looking pretty good to go to the upside. If we break this level, it should be looking not so good. So this, again, that's my risk area. And if it breaks this level, I would then exit my options, which at that point wouldn't be much less than what they are at this, you know. So I'd buy for, let me just clear all this. I buy for, say, $75 here. And if it were to break this level, it'd probably be worth maybe $70 or something like that. So it wouldn't be much of a loss at that point. Okay. See. Go back up to the 5 minute on this, take a look at it. Okay. So now I can put my fibs on to see where target would be. So I can put my fib extension tool, and that gives me 1.618 target 204. So that's a quick target. I can take some off here and then try to push possibly up to here, to this area. So I'd be looking at maybe something like that for the higher target. Just change the color on that. Okay, now on Friday, if anyone was here with us, what we saw, what transpired then. Right, let's go to the hourly. So on Friday, make this a little smaller. The play was from up this area. We got a 1, 2, 3 top up here. We jumped in up in this area and played it down. But behind the, I think I'm way off here. No, we weren't that high. We were just in this area. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm way off on the time frame. Sorry, 15-minute back down. Okay, so we were just actually over here. We played this move down from, so 1, 2, 3 top here, played this move to the downside. So that was buying the 204s up here. And I think this was it. Maybe this is not it either. It's not looking familiar here. Let me just see one more time. Could have been this one. This looks more like it. Might be losing my mind here, but let's see. Okay. Remember buying the 204 puts. So we were somewhere. Remember George at all? 204. I remember I bought the 204s at this point somewhere along here. So it was the move to the downside on Friday. Let's see, where are we here? Friday was the
Friday was expiration Friday, yeah.
that was Friday was, the date was the 11th, right? So
Yes.
so I'm way back here. What's going on? The 11th day. Okay, I must be losing my mind. One of the things is you can get lost down here if you're down on this lower time frame, so you have to be super aware of where you are. I think we were in. Okay, so here's the 10th. There's the 11th. Okay, so this is it right here. All right, now I get it. Okay, so on Friday, we were right up in this area here, and we had the 1, 2, 3 top, and jumped in, bought the 204 puts at this point. That's not it. It's right down here. Bought the 204 puts, and we had played from this area up in the morning session, and then in the afternoon, or just early in the morning there, I bought some insurance plays. I bought some 202 puts as well. So I bought the 202 puts which were here, just in case price was to come against me and start to tank. And at that point, by the afternoon, you could see price had come all the way back down. And so these 204 puts, for instance, were like $50 that I bought them for, and they were worth over $300 when they were down here. And the 202 puts I bought for $38, somewhere up in here, just for insurance, and they were worth over $200 when they came down into this area. So this is the power that you can have for the option plays, buying them at those prices. Okay, so you can see right our way we're pushing up to the 1.618 area rather quickly, and
Yeah, the 204s are now going for $1.09.
okay, so I would look for about a 100% win take one off. So that's more than likely is going to happen when price hits the 1.618 area. So that's, I'll go back to the 1 hour. Clear all that. Okay, so we're looking for target here. It'll take me right to 204. And you know, buying these options, you can, your day is basically, you know, if you take the profits, when you reach target, your day is basically done. This is the entire play. You know, you don't even have to worry about the rest of the day if you don't want to. You don't have to sit around watching the charts. You're just doing this for about an hour in the morning, and then you're basically done for the day. So that's the plan of attack. Okay, so any questions whatsoever from anyone?
I don't have any questions showing up in the chat box.
I've got an observation.
Okay.
Is I think gold might be trying to break out of its wave.
Yeah, and if you watched my outlook for the week, I went over gold and was showing that it looked like it should be ready for a bust out to the upside. So let me go to the forex market here. So in the forex, for anyone who plays the forex, it's the same thing. Exactly what I've showed you down in the stocks is exactly the same scenario. We look at the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, the US 2000. Let me just make one of these charts large. Okay, so first thing we look at here in the forex is the US dollar. We look to see what the US dollar is doing. If we can peg what the US dollar is doing, if the US dollar is moving to the upside, then the major pairs, the Aussie, the Euro, the GBP, and New Zealand will be going the opposite way. And if the US dollar is going down, then those pairs will be going to the upside. Conversely, USD CAD, USD Swiss, USD JPY, if the US dollar is moving to the upside, will be more than likely moving along with it. However, that's not always the case. So, you know, there's always a proviso. The Euro US dollar is the pair that goes definitely the opposite of the US dollar. So right now the US dollar is moving to the upside. So we would expect to see the euro, if I go to the euro, going the opposite way. So the euro should be pointing to the downside, and that's what it is doing. And that always holds because the euro has the most weighting in the US with the US dollar. So it's the reason for that opposite move. So if we looked at USD JPY, for instance, it should be pointing to the upside, but it's not necessarily always that way because it could be weaker or stronger. It's pointing the right way today and looking to go to the upside. So that tells us right away. So the other thing we look at is gold, because gold also is a barometer for commodities. And you can see gold has been in this sideways trench and moving, trying to break out. It's tried a couple of times, Now we're hitting that area. It looks like it should push to the upside here and break out. We've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom at this point, another 1, 2, 3. So it looks pretty strong at this point here that it could bust to the upside. That's on the daily time frame. So let's take a look at it from the weekly time frame. And you can see on the weekly, indeed, we were actually we're in a triangle. Let me draw it a little better. We're in a triangle, and we're just starting to break to the upside. So it's looking pretty good. Looks like we could push very strongly on gold to the upside here. The other barometer, of course, is crude oil. Let me see if I can find crude oil on here. There's my crude oil. There we can look at WTI. And that has been of course, a huge move to the upside. Still looking very strong overall. Any pullbacks just continues to climb. So that's it. So those are the key components that help us to make trading decisions in the underlying pairs. The U.S. dollar is the key, just like the E-mini S&P futures is the key for in the stock market. Okay, because if the S&P futures are moving, okay, wow. So that, George, you didn't tell me this was happening down here. Okay, so that's quite a drop. Wasn't expecting that. So, like I said, it was possible that we could come up into this area, and then all bets are off. So that's pretty quickly how quickly this thing can move. So I should have taken the profit at that moment in time up here. Didn't quite make it to our 204. So you can see that now this move. Get a 1, 2, 3 here. Once this breaks here, basically all bets are off now. So I'm going to have to now wait for a pullback into this area to take whatever profit I get. So we'll kind of get a head and shoulders type of fare here. Hopefully for me now at this point. Otherwise, that bet I just made is dead in the water. So if price continues down, then that's it. So if we don't get a rebound, then that's it. Okay, that will learn me. So one of the key things about trading on expiration days, when you get close to your target area, think quickly about taking your profit, because this can happen very quickly. So it's just a lesson. Now my right-hand man George is supposed to let me know when I'm off this chart that things are happening, but I guess maybe George, are you asleep?
No, no, I had to step away for a break.
Oh, you did. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is part of the game. Again, if you're in a position, especially with this type of how we play it on expiration day, you want to take your profits when you get them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, this kind of thing can happen. Now, if I was paying attention, I would have taken the profit even in here still for some profit. But okay, look for a balance now, because what's happening is that it has to make a rebound before it can continue down, and then I can switch direction, because it looks like overall we're going to be heading to the downside. So my expectation was that the market would go to the downside. So this move to the upside is just basically a fake out move. Let's just see. Now my chart's frozen here. Oops, my chart is frozen. That's not good. I can look at it in the Forex. Let me put the US 2000 back on. Go back down to the 5 minute. Okay, so basically doing the same thing. So again, looking for a push back up. So this would, what this has done is given us our structure, and then we should see this move. It should form a double head and shoulders here, and then we should be heading to the downside at this point. So looking at it from the 15, yeah, it looks like that's what's setting up. So 1, 2, 3 here, down to this level, over, down, and now we're doing the opposite and heading down again. So that's what I'm kind of seeing overall. We should be doing this kind of pattern. So even in the future, in the Forex market, you can play these pairs the same way. So catching this 1, 2, 3 bottom here, or a 1, 2, 3 top over here. Here's your area of entry, and you would look to enter anywhere in there. Your risk would be your stop, that point, and catching that move to the downside. Same here, catching this move to the upside. So your area of entry is here, and you're looking to play that. So that's the entire premise for the 1, 2, 3. It's just we're looking for this setup. It creates a structure. The structure, of course, I'm drawing it nice here, but the structure can be very volatile in this area here. It can be very choppy before it moves, similar to here. So we had a 1, 2, 3 top down to this level. Then it gets very choppy, and then it drops. Similarly, we have a 1, 2, 3 here. So we could actually, chop around in here as well. But it looks like we've done that structure, and we're just going to get that push back up, and then that's it. Then it's going to be back down. So
Yeah, we're starting to get our push back up now.
yeah, this is again not the way you want to play it. It's I did not be okay. If I can get this to refresh here.
That chart hasn't moved. Something's wrong there.
No, something is wrong indeed. Let me see if the other ones are this. I can't go anywhere. I have to refresh.
Well, I'm on a tick chart.
Okay, I'm not sure why it's giving me a valid symbol here. Well, we're temporarily down for maintenance. Well, this is a great time to be doing maintenance.
Well, I can tell you, you're at
That's hilarious. Okay, that's fine. I've got.
puts are at 51 cents right now.
Okay, so here's the E-minis. Let me just go over to WM here. So they're doing maintenance. Wow. Beautiful time to be doing maintenance. right in the middle of the market. That's great. Okay, so on the 5-minute chart. All right, so yeah, this is looking definitely, when I look at this chart now, we can see this is where, Stacy, I remember on Friday you were pointing out fourth wave. This is where we are at. So, I'm not going to give up on this move still. It still looks like we're going to push back up to this area in any case. So it's just a matter of hanging in there. It should push back up. It's going to take a while, but it will do that. Let's go to 15. Okay, so I think we might break that area. Let's see.
You're up to about 65 cents on the 204s.
Yeah, it's pushing pretty good here. So
Yeah, you're up to 73 cents.
So I'm almost back to break even.
5.
Go to the 3-minute. Okay. So is it just going to do the head and shoulders thing and come down, or will it blow past this high and continue up? It is going to be the key question here at this point. So again, if I drew, that's unfortunate that they're doing maintenance right at this time of the day on investing.com, but that's the way it is. So that's what I get. So is it going to make it past, or is it going to
Okay,
stop
just
off
hit
here?
80 cents now.
So I'm going to go down to the 1-minute time frame and take a look at this again. Okay, so you can see that it's making that head and shoulders. So what I'll do is take one back to break even, basically. So I'm not even going to take the profit at this point because it's just break even. So I'll wait for it to continue. If we break this high, but it won't do that right away. Of course, it'll have to come back first before it'll do the move. So I'm taking a risk now, because if I'm wrong and it doesn't, and it comes back and it doesn't continue back up and break the high, then we could be heading down for sure. So I have to be super careful at this point. So this is basically understanding the pattern and being confident in the pattern to not panic. When price is dropping down, not panic and think, okay, that's it, it's all over, and you start exiting your positions and so forth. If you have a clear understanding of the structure that I just drew, then whenever you're in an area of the structure, you can be confident that it's going to do a certain pattern. So
You're getting a turn now.
I'd try investing.com again, Lennox. I think it's was just maybe a browser message on your end, because I checked it and it seems to be working.
Okay, let me see.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to the 1 minute, so it might not. Yeah, sorry, I think I spoke too soon. I went into the 1 minute and it won't.
No
It's
problem.
not doing it.
Yeah, they're having a hard time so early in the morning. That's too bad.
Yeah, there's your Head and Shoulders formation.
Okay, so it did come up, form the head and shoulders, like I said. And so now it's going to have to retrace this move. So now the key question is, will it just come like to here and then bounce and go again, or will it continue down? If it continues down, of course, then I'll have to look at a play to the downside, because it might just do this, that, and then break to the downside. So the entire key to the 1, 2, 3 really is that price moves up, price moves down, price moves up, price moves down, price moves up, and that's what it does. Whenever it breaks, like here, then you have to reassess and reevaluate the movements and decide, okay, to switch gears or stay in, or that type of thing. So it tells you, but you have to also anticipate. So you have to have some expectation of what's going to happen. You can see this is a very choppy affair we're in right now. So this whole area is super choppy. So we get a 1, 2, 3, get another 1, 2, 3, another 1, 2, 3. It's very, very up and down, up and very choppy. So again, I'm back down to losing my initial investment. Albeit it's a $75. At this point here, I had profit, not a great deal of profit, but still profit. So now I'm probably I don't know what is it trading at now, George? Maybe 40 bucks or something, half or less.
The 204 is at 44 right now.
Yeah, so I'm down a little bit. So now like I say, is it going to, so it's done this movement, come back down? Is it going to, if it breaks this low, then we have to really reevaluate everything.
Yeah, you're going to get a
And
chance
right now
to do a reevaluation rather quickly.
it's not looking very good. So I would wait now for the next move back up and look to sell at this point, because it's just not, the bulls don't have enough oomph to push this market to the upside. That's basically what it's telling us. So now we have a 1, 2, 3 this way. And so we get another 1, 2, 3 this way. So now I'd look to buy the put. So I will exit my position here, or at least maybe take one off just in case, because this is so volatile right now. It's still a bit iffy. Maybe take one off and then look to buy the puts when price moves back into this area.
Almost looks like you closed one and put on a put in its place.
This is not the kind of movement we really want, but this is what's happening. This is the reality of it. What we really want is a clean move to your target. This is the ideal. You get a clean move to your target and you're done. Right? This is a battle now, and we don't want to be we're in a battle because we're in this area, and hence the reason for the battling. If we were down here and we caught the move, then we wouldn't be in this mess. But we're on the lower time frame, so we can go into this area and play, but you can still get messed up. So ideally, the play was to take that to here to get your profit, and then you're done. So now we're in battle mode, trying to just even break even now, and that's not really the way you want to play this. So, but this is a good example, that it doesn't always work out nice and clean. It's sometimes there's a battle like this. So on Friday it was similar. We started off very slow. It was a very, very slow motion, but it eventually picked up and started to really go.
Okay, we're starting to turn back up now. See how much of a energy it has.
I think we're going to get a push that's going to take us past. We should push past here. It looks like it. It's possible. It's a tough battle right now. We should push past, but it's very tough. We came very close to breaking that low, but we did not break the low. So that's a good sign at that point. But it's definitely in a battle to push back up here. So usually when we get a head and shoulders pattern, no matter what the time frame you're on, when you get a head and shoulders and you get the neckline, then price will come back to test that neckline. So that should be there, and then we get that move. So however, in this case, it's kind of looking like maybe we might breach this and come all the way back up, but we'll see if that occurs. So these patterns all hold out, the head and shoulders, those patterns doesn't matter what the time frame, they all play basically the same type of thing, double bottoms, all that kind of stuff. We look for engulfing candles, we look for pin bars, things like that. All those kind of patterns and bars occur on any time frame. So those help us. Here's a bullish engulfing setup right there. That would give you a good indication that you could jump into that play to the upside because you got a bullish engulfing candle. Things like that. That's what helps us inside in the nitty-gritties of the 1, 2, 3 setup. You can see it's really battling. It's trying very hard. So it's forming a 1, 2, 3 here now. So we would expect another move back to the upside, but we have to break this red candle first. So we'll see if that occurs. Remember, we're down on the 1 minute time frame, so these bars come quick. So this is our line in the sand. If we break that level, then all bets are off and we're heading down. But if we can get the next bar to break this bar, then we would push back to the upside. But we have a lot of weakness in the market overall. The NASDAQ is battling very hard to try to stay afloat.
Yeah, it's a tough battle right now. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit of a push now.
So that, if I were playing to enter, that would have been an entry right there. I would have taken that as an entry signal when we broke that red bar right there, because that little move right there is a 1, 2, 3 in itself. So this is a bar, and then this new bar breaks that. So that becomes our 1, 2, 3. This entire thing is a 1, 2, 3. So that's how you kind of get into this nitty-gritties of it.
Right now, you're about 50%.
Any questions from anyone at all?
Go back to monitoring the questions. I don't have any.
Okay.
If you have questions, please put it in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, can you go to the daily chart on this, please?
Okay. Connect. Okay. 1 second here. Where was I? On the daily chart on here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
On the daily chart, my observation, it had a 1, 2, 3, and now it's making another 1, 2, 3,
Oops.
going to the
Sorry.
upside, right?
Wow, you're getting a lot of disconnects.
Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, let's try this again here. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So I see a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then I see another 1, 2, 3 bottom
At this
forming.
point here.
Right. So now we're possibly looking at point number 3, and then to the upside, right? On a daily.
Yes and no. And then the reason why it's a no is because you have to always look at what's controlling where you are. So because we have a 1, 2, 3 here,
Right.
and this moved down
Mm-hmm.
at this point, this yes could be a 1, 2, 3 bottom that could take us to the upside, like you're saying. It's totally possible. But because we have a 1, 2, 3 here, our structure takes us down like that. So to me, it's
Okay.
we're in this area.
Right.
This-
Okay. So the controlling is the top.
So this is the controller at this point.
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
so you can, yes, you can be fooled to think that this is the controlling one that's pushing everything to the upside, but overall we have a controlling one at the top here that's pushing us down to the downside.
Oh, okay.
Just,
Okay.
just like if we went to the weekly, you would see that this is the controlling one that's pushing us to the downside.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
That makes sense?
That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. So you can see we are totally red here. We have, red. It's a battle right now. And that's why when we come down to the lower time frame, we're in a battle trying to make, you can see that we're actually heading straight down right now. So
Right.
looks
Okay.
like all
Yeah,
bets
you're
are off. So we did just like I thought here,
critical
one of
that
these scenarios.
it doesn't break this trend line.
So is it going to break this now, or are we going to break the lows? If we break the lows,
Right.
then we're heading down, and that's it.
Down. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. And my other question is from George on seasonality. I noticed that the airline stocks have moved up nicely in the last few weeks. And knowing your seasonality knowledge, how would you have played, let's say,
Oh, we've lost you.
American airline? Okay, could you
Sorry,
go to the? Oh, you can
Sorry,
hear me?
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Question, Lennox?
No, I didn't hear anything. You were all muffled. Sorry.
So my question is on airline stocks. I noticed
That's
they
better.
moved up quite nicely. If you look at AAL for me, please. American Airline. A daily chart. you look at the daily chart, you'll see a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom that was formed a couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
and then it's moved up. So are we looking at again 0.3 to go up? On
Yeah,
this one?
we're now you know where you are in your structure,
Right,
so we should expect another move to the upside.
to the upside. Okay, but seasonality wise, George, was this a seasonality play?
Yeah.
Okay. Do the airline stocks go up in these months? That's what I was asking.
Well, I can take a look at it.
Now on the weekly, you can see that we're in a channel. So that little push to the upside here might just be it, and then we're coming back down in a hurry. So
Okay.
you can see that from this level. So it's always good to take a look at it from a higher vantage point. And when I
Right.
say higher vantage point, think of yourself as being in an airplane and you're looking at the charts. And this is just a coastline. This is just a coastline that you're looking at. And you get a much better vantage point by going to the higher time frame, and you can see where you are overall in the structure. So that's
Okay.
why I start off with the monthly, because when you go to the monthly, you get the overall coastline view, and then you can see what's kind of going on. So you can see that, we're in a serious move to the downside here, right?
Right.
This little, if any, at this moment in time anyways, not looking that great that it's going to move to the upside with any strength, right?
I see it now. Yes. Thank you.
So
When I look at the seasonality chart of American Airlines, it's had its big move up. It's been moving up seasonality wise from late November to now has been a very strong upward move.
Okay.
so here we broke the lows on IWM. All right, so I should be looking now for some put plays, because my calls are basically, let me just see what they
They're
call
toast. Yeah, 15 cents right now, 14 cents.
20 cents or something now. So so that's it for those guys. Let me go to the 3 minute time frame. So now the opportunity is to the downside. You can see that that's moving rapidly. And that's how quickly this thing can turn around on you. So now what I would have to do is, again, so we have a 1, 2, 3 here, another 1, 2, 3. So I'll wait now for another pushback. Once I get that pushback, that's an opportunity to buy the puts. I would just take, a loss. No, I mean, I can still get out of here for like $25 from my 75. You preferably like to get, at least half of your money back, but that's okay. In this case, it's not a huge amount. So take this move and exit my my calls and buy the puts when we get that move back up. It made a valiant attempt here, though, and it did try, but that was it. We hit the 199 moving average here, and that was it. Once it got there, this is like a brick wall essentially, or ceiling. Okay, so I need to push back, which is going to be tough because it's very weak right now. You can see, like I said, it created the head and shoulders, and that pattern holds no matter what time frame you're on. Price then came back up to test the head and shoulders, formed a 1, 2, 3 top, and now we're heading down. So I need to push back now to this trend line to be able to give me a little bit of a half of, maybe not even half of my calls back, but then I can buy some puts to go down. So that's what I'd be looking for. Anytime you're buying calls or puts, if you're buying puts, you want price to be moving up. If you're buying calls, you want price to be moving down, because the price of your option, the premium of your option, is cheaper when price is moving away from the direction you want to go. So right now it's not helping me. So now we're at the last line of defense, which is here. And again, no panic. We know that it's just going to make 1, 2, 3. So we know that it's going to push back up. You know, yes, sometimes it can just go, but you know, it's very rare that it does that. So you kind of hang in there and wait for the formation to play out, and then take advantage of that. How's our time? Okay, so we're an hour into our session. We usually call it this time. I'm just going to give it another 5 minutes here with you guys, just to see if we can get price to move back up, and then I'll take an exit and a new entry to the downside, because I expect price to, once we get this pushback, to really start to go down after that. If price actually does continue back up here, because this is the line, this is it at this point. The bulls are really trying hard, but it's a tough go, as you can see.
Yeah, the bulls are really struggling now to get it back to there.
Yeah, they're in a battle, and the bears are really strong. So I'm going to just buy a put right now, just so that I can I'll buy the where are we at, 200, 198.
199 is our 74, 75. The 198s are 51.
Okay, so just bought some puts, just to bought the 199 puts just to cover my losses from the calls. So worst case scenario, now the market doesn't do anything and I'm just stuck right here all day, and then I lose both. But if it tanks, I win. If it goes back up, I win. So one or the other will play out here. So so let's see now. Here's our structure at this point. At this level, we're on the 1 minute chart. Our structure played out. So we should get this push back up now into here. And at this point, I'll buy some more puts, sell my calls, and buy more puts, because I expect the price to come down. And why am I expecting that? If I go to a higher time frame and look at this chart, so let's go back up to the hourly, for example. You can see we're just sitting on the cusp of this move to the downside. It's just ready to break. So this entire move here, which comprised of this kind of move, And you can see this is what's happening. We're getting, here's our head and shoulders here. We're breaking this level and we're dropping, so we should come all the way back down overall. So in this little channel that we're at, like I said, it could have gone either way. We could have gone up a little bit more and so forth, but it's very unpredictable. You know, you can surmise all you want and expect what you want, but the market will do what it wants to do. So let's go down to the 15, looking at it again. So very choppy area. It's still going to chop around in here, looks like. So, you know, we'll come back at noon or 3 o'clock
3 o'clock.
Eastern and see how this all plays out. All right, so I've got calls. I've got the 204 calls and I've got the 199 calls, which are down here. So it's basically this is called a straddle at this time. And the expected move now is to the downside, but we'll see if how it plays out by midday. All right, so that's a look at the 1, 2, 3. I gave you some in-depth on how it works. This afternoon we'll look at earnings, some of the earnings that are coming out after market. We like to play the earnings that you get an opportunity to jump in and make some nice profits on those. And we'll take a look also at some insider trading activity and so forth. Let's see if these charts are back here. What this is. So no, we're still down. Okay, too bad. So at that time, we'll like I say, we'll come back and take a look at and see what's shaping up. All right. So if there are no other questions, we thank you for sharing your time with us. Appreciate that, and we will see you at 3 o'clock Eastern, if you're able. All right.
Thank you, Lennox and George.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for attending.
Thanks, Lennox and George.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. Right, so have a good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you might be. Take care. We'll see you later.